Hello, this is Spotlight on Souris. My name is Laura Higgs, and today is October 19th, 2023. And I'm privileged to have with me as a guest Amy Lees, who is here to talk to us about the Souris Garden Tours. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming back. I had you here before the garden tours happened, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we want to hear a little bit about it. What is the garden tours?
Sure. So Souris Garden Tours is a weekend one time in July, and people can sign up to have their yards participating in it, and people can just go and view their gardens during that time.
Okay, so this is October, and we had one in July, which I attended. I just thought was wonderful.
Yeah.
How many gardens participated?
This year there were 7 gardens. So it was Souris PCH Courtyard, Barry McCullough, Connie and Paul Crook, Victoria Park Lodge, Dolores Gurdon, Judy and Don Smutko, and Souris Glenroy Community Gardens.
Right. I remember getting around to all of them.
Yeah.
How many people attended then? Because there was books out at...
Yeah, so we had guest books, so that's how we kind of based our numbers. So people sign them, that's what we were kind of figuring. So there was between 75 to 100 people that went to the gardens, and it was from all over Manitoba, and even a couple people from Saskatchewan. So we had obviously Souris and Carroll and Elgin and Brandon and Pipestone and Pot Mound and Mather and Pelican Lake and Boissevain, Yorkton, Regina. So
Wow.
There was a bunch of people.
Yeah, very, very good turnout. Yeah. Okay. So who can participate in this?
So anyone can participate.
Okay.
It's just fun to go to. So it's fun for the people to host their yard, and it's fun for people to go out and look at them and stuff. You can get ideas for your yard. And this year it was a very nice weekend. It was probably, like 25 degrees or something. So it's a nice temperature, not too hot, not too cold,
Yeah.
And you could just go outside and look at all the beautiful flowers and plants and vegetables and
Yeah,
everything.
it was gorgeous. You know what I found is that, you show up to a house and you come in the yard and you don't realize all that yard is back there behind their house. And some of the gardens were spectacular.
Yeah, and I think that's the exciting part too, because with them being private, you don't know. So you might just see someone's fence. It's like, oh, that looks like a nice yard. And then going behind, it's this oasis. There's ponds. There's all these flowers and maybe flowers and plants you haven't heard of before.
Right, for sure. Okay, so why do people like touring these gardens? I got a few ideas.
I think it's because usually they are private. You can kind of spend the day out in nature. You can get ideas for your own yard. You can see the yards of people that you're friends with and whatever. And you can see, oh, I know this person, but I didn't know they had such a green thumb or whatever. It's just really kind of neat, yeah.
So it really connects the community as far as people who either want to garden or love to get the proceeds from the garden and stuff like that.
I think so.
It just connects them.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some interesting parts about the gardens that participated this year?
Sure. Well, this year the largest garden that we had on the tour was Connie and Paul Crooks. They were a rural garden just south of town. And the cool thing about their garden was that they've only had it for 3 years. So she started it as a COVID garden. And her whole yard, they have an acreage, was just filled with flowers just everywhere. And they have a massive vegetable garden. And then she's also an artist, so she had paintings throughout her garden. And she had little informational plaques saying stuff about dahlias or whatever, about, if certain plants had medicinal benefits and things like that. And they had this really cool ivy house, which it was just an old gazebo frame that they had ivy completely grown over it. And then they had an old tree stump that fell down, so they made a big little gnome house out of it, kind of thing. It was really cool. The Barry McCullough's, he had a garden just next to his shop, so he rigged up some fencing for it, and then he has to protect from the deer. But he had apple trees in there, and it was just kind of a little private spot there. And then people that left, they all got a carrot or a cucumber or something, so he was really generous that way.
Okay, yeah. He had above ground, bins. I think they were bins that they feed animals in or something like that.
Yeah, so he repurposed a lot of stuff, and then he had everything all fenced in because the deer are relentless there too. So, but he had a really successful year. Judy and Don Smutko, they had a bunch of cool things in their yard too, but one of the neatest things was they have an old house in Souris, and Don had built a birdhouse that was a replica of their home. So their 1901 home had this beautiful estate birdhouse in their yard.
Right.
And that was cool. Dolores Gurdon, she had lots of nice petunias, and there's a pond feature. The Souris Glenwood Community Gardens just started in March of this year, and when we had started, there's only 3 raised beds. And now we have some in-ground plots too. But at the time, people could go down there and see like what was going on and kind of get the future plans for what we have planned to do there. And if people want to find more information, there is a Facebook page, so Souris Glenwood Community Garden. And then, what else was on the list? Victoria Park Lodge.
Right.
And they have a really beautiful garden just right off the crescent, and it's really colorful, and just you can see all the flowers that are just in a small space. It's kind of cool to see what you can do with an area like that.
Yeah, I got in nice and close for that one with the camera.
Yeah.
So.
And the PCH Courtyard Garden, that was started in 2000, and Cheryl Tonge is a huge volunteer and supporter with that. And everything that they do there is done with volunteers and donations. So she puts a lot of work into that, and it's a garden full of love and meticulous planning. Like, she has very good ideas with what she wants to do with that space.
It's a beautiful space for people from the personal care home to come out and sit.
Yeah, and you don't know that it's there because it's behind the building and it's kind of hidden. So it's a private garden that you can't see normally, which is nice to look at.
Yeah.
And then, I think I said all of them there.
Yeah. That is, it is a very private area for sure, and it's also very secure. So if the residents go outside there, they can't wander away, which is a huge bonus, especially if you're a nurse and
and they have a spot to walk around, and they have a spot to sit. And there's a shelter
so they get their exercise, they get their fresh air, they get their sunlight, and they get their the view of the beautiful garden as well. But I was I went to all of the places that you listed, and I went to Connie Crooks. You mentioned the gazebo with the ivy growing all around it. You know, the temperature dropped by 5 or 10 degrees stepping inside of that. Just one plant keeping that sunlight out. It was much cooler inside that. Yeah.
And so I think she said it took 4 years for it to completely go over the top.
Yeah.
So it's about 6 years in for that one now. But it was just kind of cool to see the ivy just gone over the whole thing.
The whole gazebo just is a big plant.
Yeah, it's like a igloo but with plants.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It was really cool.
Very lovely, yeah. Okay, that was some of the features that you had going on. Now, how can people sign up their garden for next year if they want to go into the tour and show off some of their yard?
So if people want to sign up, they can give me a call at 204-825-7904. They can send me an email at sourisgardentours@gmail.com. And we have a Facebook page, which is Souris Garden Tours at Facebook.
Great, perfect.
Yeah, so they can just send a message. And then I would just go out, and I usually take some sneak peek photos, and then we always post them on the page before to try and promote the gardens that we have and kind of get some interest that way.
Great, great. Well, I hope that the same people who participated this year will participate next year.
Yeah.
Because there's always new things to see and learn, and I know that some of them have quite a bit of artwork, and so one not just off the highway, you don't even realize it's there, how beautiful that is. You don't even realize it, and I drive by it regularly.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that you get more than that for next year. It'll be really good. If we're already got almost 100 people coming, that's great.
I thought that 7 was kind of a good starting number. I wasn't too sure what to expect. I'm kind of technically new to Souris. I've been here for a few years. My partner's been here, kind of born and raised, so it was just nice to maybe meet some people too and just get the word out that this is something that's going to be annual. So.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Okay. How can people find out about next year's event? So you will be posting that on the Facebook page. But.
Yeah, so like we did this year, we're going to put it on the radio and the newspaper and social media and around town.
Closer to the event?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll always be in July, so you can wait for the date to be announced closer to. But we'll have posters up around town, like in the post office and in the grocery store, that kind of thing. We have it posted on our social media, so it'll just be our Facebook page. And then it's in the Brown and Sun, it's in the Boys Van Recorder. We have it on the radio, Star FM, Pure Country, and CKLQ. And I guess that's pretty much it.
Wow, great.
And then printed posters would be at LT's and the Plaza Petals again.
Sure. And so all that'll happen just in the spring?
Yeah, like we'd probably start like asking for requests for garden hosts probably in like May or June or something. So people can kind of get an idea of wanting to do it. I'll just have a save the date kind of sent out, and then we'll announce the date for sure.
Right. Okay. Well, here's hoping we get good weather again, because that was perfect last time. Yeah, it was perfect. Okay. So how can somebody contact you, the Souris Garden Tours?
SourisGardenTours@gmail.com, 204-825-7904, or the Facebook page is the best way.
Sure, they can send a message through that, eh?
Yeah.
You're the administrator for that Facebook page?
Yeah, it was just an idea that I had just from going to different garden tours around town. For for years have been going to Brandon and Clarny, and then there are tours in Nipawin and Carmen, and then there's a couple in Winnipeg, and I think Palmount has one too. So,
well, that's very good.
yeah, it's really fun. Some of them are free, some of them cost a fee. I think there may be $20 or something, and I think you're usually a fundraiser. They just cover costs, but it's just really cool to go out to different gardens, and you can see all these beautiful plants and flowers, and I don't know, it's just very interesting.
Yeah, it is. Well, I sure like the idea of Barry giving away vegetables there, but then there was seeds at every stop.
Yeah,
wasn't
so
there?
along with the guest books, I had left some flower seeds so people could take some and plant in their own yard or whichever. So maybe just kind of a nice little like parting gift for people for thanking them for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was lovely to have.
Yeah.
But Amy, thank you so much for coming in and sharing that with us. It was certainly a wonderful event that you put on this year, and hopefully see you next year. And maybe we can get the camera up and going to the gardens for next year as well.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us here at Spotlight in Souris. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.